Turning Point should be called Turnaway Point USA because they turn away. They turn away. Charlie Kirk turns away a bunch of people like Owen Benjamin. They turn away. Get Off My Lawn with Gary McGinnis, Nick Fuentes, Noah Loomer, Milo Monopolis. All these people they deem to be dissonant, right? Oh, right. They want to get rid of and not allow them to be at Turning Point. They want to ban them at Turning Point USA. Or I like to call it Turnaway Point USA. I thought you're for free speech. Let these people speak. They have principles that are consistent. They are proud white people that think unless it's from Europe or Ushima that they don't assimilate. Africans don't assimilate from Africa. Haitians don't assimilate from Haiti, and Cubans don't assimilate. Go down to Miami. They mostly speak Spanish. They don't speak English. They don't assimilate, and they bring their culture to America. Yeah, they vote Republican, but they still keep their Spanish language. I don't care. We can't have a conversation because I don't know what they're talking about. And we think that we should be America first because these other cultures are gradually turning us into leftists because they vote blue, most of them. And even Cuba that votes Republican, they still keep their culture. And then we have a subculture where we like go to Miami and it's like we agreed to speak Spanish. No, we didn't. We go to Cuba, we agree to speak Spanish. We don't do that. It's America. They should be speaking English. And then there's Sean Hannity. I wonder what got to you, or what's pulling the strings, or what they got hanging over you to cause you to sit there and do the pang porn on coronavirus last night. Make sure you take the shot. Make sure you take it serious. We all taking it serious. And the ones that don't want to take the shot don't want to take it. We're willing to take the risk. What is with this panic porn? What is with the scare tactics? Steve Dace will address you today on his radio show because, Hannity, you're panic porn everybody. Charlie Kirk, what is with you, man? That's you're for that world of ideas, man. Not, Charlie Kirk's for like open borders and legal immigration, whether it's harmful to America or not. And to me, it's just like because we're proud white people, or because we think that unless you come from Europe or Oshima, we just don't think you assimilate. I would then we're white nationalists because from blacks and Hispanic areas and non-white countries mostly, they don't assimilate. So all of a sudden, because we want to protect America and keep it America and the culture, American culture, because these people don't assimilate from these different countries, oh, some are white nationalists because, well, we don't want blacks. Well, that's not true. We want blacks just from Europe and Oshima, but not from African countries where primarily blacks come from. Well, I guess that's why we're white nationalists because we don't want blacks. Well, you know what? If they come from Europe, they can come. If they come from Oshima, they can come. But don't tell me that we need to take them from Africa when they don't assimilate. And then we're white nationalists because white people have a culture, and a white Caucasian culture is what we want to keep America. And people need to assimilate to white Caucasian culture because that's what America is. And so we need to speak English. We need to, and we're proud of being white. What's wrong with being proud of being white? But I have no problems with working with black people. I have no problems with sitting next to a black person on a bus. I have no problems with blacks coming from Europe or Oceania. But we just know certain countries they come from don't assimilate, and we're not very good to our country. And why is it that they can have all these illegal Mexicans coming across the border, but we cannot have Cubans coming into this country that actually meets the say asylum definition? They're seeking asylum. Granted, they wouldn't be good for America in the long term because they don't speak English and they won't speak English. But at least until Cuba is safe, they need to be allowed to be in America at least until Cuba is safe. And they need to allow them here temporarily. Then once Cuba becomes safe again, then we send them back because they don't assimilate. for at least temporarily we have to live it because they are seeking asylum. They are two asylum seekers in Cuba, and they said, nope, we can't have you come to our country. We can't have you come to our country. Well, you know what, Charlie Kirk? You are a fraud because Nick Fuentes and Carl Benjamin and Owen Benjamin and all these people that you see on Dissident, Laura Loomer and Alex Jones and Owen Schroyer and all these people you think, well, we're going to ban them from Turning Point because they're dissident, they're white nationalists. What? When Milo Monopolist, we need to ban him. We need to ban yeah, my lawn, Gavin McGinnis, because I guess they're too dissonant for people over at Turning Point. Hey, and Ben Shapiro, man, Ben Shapiro, no one cares about you either. You're lying about Nick Fuentes. He's a proud white person, but he doesn't have white ethnic states. He's okay with people from other nationalities as long as they assimilate. He just thinks once the countries they come from, they don't assimilate. But you want to make fun and lie about someone, and you don't even have the guts to want to have a conversation with Nick Fuentes. Now, why does anyone think it's okay to ban Nick Fuentes from airplanes and ban him from Airbnb and Uber and Lyft and not allowed to rent money in a bank and get banned from PayPal and all these money things? And he's banned from Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. Nick Fuentes is not going to be a human anymore. He's going to be subhuman. Well, because you can't stand him, you think he should be banned. No, I don't think Nick Fuentes should be banned. I think Nick Fuentes should coexist. Whether you like Nick Fuentes or not, he should coexist. This is not what we do, but if you don't want to be associated with someone because it may make you look bad, I guess you just want to toss him to the wolves. You know what? So much for your principles, man. Because you care more about how things look and about the perception of people. So I just want nothing to do with you because it makes me look bad. You know what? This is crazy. This is crazy, Charlie Kirk. You see, they only want certain people. So unless it's your kind of conservative, I guess you can't be part of Turning Point USA. You want to divide people on the right. If you're, more, if you're Mile Monopolist or Laura Loomer or Gavin McGinnis or Nick Fuentes, only these dissonant right members that you deem to be look at this. They're hatred. They're racist. You want nothing to do with that Turning Point. You know what? It's called Turnaway Point because you shouldn't be the ones to dictate. If they say there's some form of a conservative, they need to be allowed to speak. But no, what is it? They hurt something you say? What is it? You don't like it? What you sit there at your events and welcome Caitlyn Jenner, who's not a man anymore because she thinks she's another gender and got a mental illness. You'll welcome her at Turning Point, right, Charlie Kirk? You'll welcome Caitlyn Jenner, who's a mental illness at Turning Point. She's welcome at Turning Point, but Nick Fuentes isn't. Yeah, a person that's got a mental illness that thinks she's a woman. Is that what it is? See, Charlie Kirk is a turnaway point. He's a fraud. Charlie Kirk is a fraud. Charlie Kirk is a fraud. Because you know what? And Maria Slap over at CPAC. I can't stand you either. You let leftists harass other conservatives. You let Caitlyn Jenner, aka Bruce Jenner, in my opinion, because he's a man, not a woman, at there. But you won't let people like Nick Fuentes or Owen Schroyer. You'll ban Alex Jones. Why? Because you want to be loved by the left? How too conservative are you, Mr. CPAC, Mr. Maria Slap? Well, you know what, Maria Slap? I'd love to see a woman slap you across your face, you smug bitch. You ain't a true conservative. You allow these leftists come and harass other conservatives. You allow a mental illness like Caitlyn Jenner in there, and you call yourself a conservative, Maria Slap, attorney at CPAC. But you won't let these real people that are America First in there, like Michelle Malkin's banned too, right? Michelle Malkin is not allowed at Turning Point, or freaking CPAC. And she's a true America First conservative. Why you care more about pleasing the left than you do the right? And Sean Hannity, what are you doing with the propaganda of the fear mongering over the coronavirus last night in the Hannity program. You need to take it seriously. We are taking it seriously. We want to take the shot, we take the shot. If we don't want the shot, we're not going to take the shot. Stop fear mongering, Hannity. Stop fear mongering, Hannity. Man, the right is so fried right now. I'm not a Republican. I never have been. I am a classical liberal independent. I'm a classical liberal independent, man, that wants to ban pornography because it does harmful to women. That's why I'm a common good classical liberal independent that wants to sit there and protect kids. But the one thing I don't support is I don't support neoconservatives. I'm not for wars, endless wars. I'm not for the world's policemen. And I'm not for starting wars in other countries and nation building. I'm not a libertarian, because I don't believe in open borders. I don't believe in just live and let live. And I don't believe in no government. We got to have some government. We can't have no government. We can have limited government, but we can't have no government. And I'm definitely not a rhino, because I can't stand the spending like a drunken sailor that the Republicans continue to spend and approve spending bills that just increases the deficit, which Trump should have vetoed, but he didn't think he could ever win because they are not conservative. They want to keep spending like drunken sailors. Republican Party is a fraud. Republican Party is either neoconservative, which I'm not a neocon. I hate wars and being worse policeman. Libertarian, which thinks there should be no government. Needs to be, we need to have at least limited government. We can't have no government. We can have limited government. And rhinos who want to spend like drunken sailors. And so I don't believe in any of the beliefs that the people running the Republican Party believe now. They're frauds, man. Republican Party is a fraud party now that cannot